What's up, my Fortnite people? Now, just going over week 5 challenges and personally what I think about them, and maybe some new challenges I hope to see down the road, because as you can see, we have 5 more weeks left. This is our halfway point after this one, and I like it at first glance. And what I mean particularly by that is, for 5 stars, you can use a bush, which they're not the easiest thing to find, but you can use them. And if you're worried about aiming or shooting with a bush on, what you could do is or use a bush, build a ladder or staircase 3 things high, jump a little higher, deal some damage to yourself, get out of the bush, or wait until the first storm's closed in, put on the bush, step out for like half a second, take it off, put it back on. You only lose 1 health. Sure, it's a little pain losing only 1 health, but you get the credit for using the bush and you don't have to deal with it aiming. I like that. Also, I see the second thing, search chest and moisty mire. I already like this one 90% more than the Wailing Woods one. It's still, to me, not as nice as the Pleasant Park one. I believe if you look at the previous 4, it was Pleasant Park, Wailing Woods, Junk Junction, and Flush. With Flush and Junk, there was a decent amount of chests, and they weren't overly populated. But with Wailing Woods, there tends to be only 1 or 2 chests per game. So that was a bad one right here. With Moisty, you can tend to get a chest in the shack in the back. There's that big tree you can get maybe up to 3 chests in. There's the shack. There's a stand with that's on the tree or the tree house that we can get 2 chests in. So that's 6 that you can possibly get. And then near the shack in the back, there's a tree that you can also get another one, and there's a tree in front of that where you can also get another one. There's also an ice cream truck that can spawn one, and I believe there's one more location that can spawn one, so that's up to 9 or 10 chests per game. Now, most likely they're not all going to spawn. Typically, the tree that can spawn 3 chests only spawns 1 or 2, but you get the games worth 3. Sometimes there's not a chest in the shack or a chest near the shack, but with this, though, it has a lot more potential than Wailing did, because with Wailing, you only had the 4 chests, and the chest in the 4 corners of the maze, and then the chest in the treehouse. And there'd be a lot of games where none of them spawned, or only 1 spawned, and you'd have 4 groups going there fighting for that 1 chest. Now, I noticed the second one, deal damage with pickaxe to opponents. Probably the easiest way to get this is when you land on top of the house with someone, just whack them a few times. Live or die, get some of the damage off. Or better yet, when you down somebody, if you don't notice a teammate near them, just pickaxe them to death. That's an easy 90 to 100 damage that you will get. Most likely 90, because as they start to bleed to death, you probably won't be able to get that 10th hit off. And then visit different gas stations in a single match. Now, I think this one is misproportionalized. And what I mean by that is I think it belongs in a hard section. Mainly because when you think of gas stations, there's one at Greasy. There's, I believe, one at the soccer stadium. There's some in Salty. There's a different spot. But this alone requires you to survive probably past the initial wave down to the top 30 or 20. And I just feel like this is a harder objective than just normal. The other ones take time, but this one is in a single match. If this goal was worded a little differently, it said visit 6 different gas stations. Just in general, just not in a single match, I believe it'd be easier. But in a single match, it could be hard. But once you figure out your path, stick to it, you'll get it done. Then you have to follow the treasure map in Anarchy Acres. I believe it's going to lead you to around Junk Junction, because I believe the treasure map contains the llama, and then like a little picture of Junk, and then something to the left where it is. I'm not quite sure, but that's the general area there. And then pistol eliminations hard 3, not too bad. Eliminate opponents in tilted towers, not terrible. Like with that one, you can get it done eventually. Just keep trying at it. And the one I don't like is visit different gas stations in a single. I just don't like that it's in a single match. But like I said, just nail down your routine, nail down your path. You'll get it eventually. Also, an idea for another challenge later on in the season. I would like to see them do a challenge where it's like Because you notice if you pop up your menu match stats after you get killed, it'll say what the distance you ran or the materials gathered or whatever. I wish that one of the challenges would be like run 20 kilometers. Not something you have to aim for, but something that you'll get as long as you play. I like that. With a bush, you have to look for a bush. You have to land at Moisty. You have to concentrate on pickaxing people. Gas stations. Look at the map for anarchy. Concentrate on using a pistol. Land at Tilted. At least with like a run 20 kilometers thing, you can just accomplish it by doing anything. And I like the idea. Let me know what you think of the Week 5 challenges, and let me know what you hope to see ahead. Also, bonus question, let me know what you think is going to be the next location where we're going to have to eliminate opponents, because this time it's Tilted, but personally, I think next time, it's going to be Lucky Landing. Now, if you look at the last ones, Tomato Town, Salty, Greasy, and Fatal, I think Lucky is next on the list. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.